let's be real, the skills that got you to where you are today, they're not going to get you to 2025. Today, we're cracking open a brand new report that lays out a playbook for the future. This is all about how to not just survive, but actually thrive in the completely new digital world we're in. So let's dive right in. First things first, we need to talk about why this is so urgent. The clock is ticking, and I mean that literally. The entire professional landscape is shifting right under our feet, and the skills we've all been relying on, well, they have a surprisingly short shelf life. The rules of the game haven't just changed, they are being completely rewritten as we speak. So I have to ask you directly, are your skills future-proof? It's a tough question, I know, but it's one we absolutely have to face, because the number I'm about to show you, it paints a pretty stark picture. 40%. Just let that sink in for a second. According to this report, nearly half of the core skills we use in our jobs today could be pretty much obsolete by 2030. That's not some slow, gradual change. That is a massive reset of what it even means to be valuable at work. So what's the solution here? Well, it's not about just learning how to use a few new AI tools. The big idea in this report is about convergence. See, the future doesn't belong to the AI, and it doesn't just belong to humans. It belongs to the people who can fuse deep, technical AI mastery with those irreplaceable human skills. Creativity, strategic thinking, adaptability. One without the other is a total dead end. Okay, so how do we actually build that powerful combination? Luckily, the report gives us a blueprint. Think of this as our roadmap for staying essential and valuable over the next few years. And this roadmap is built on 4 key pillars. It all starts with AI mastery, and I mean going way beyond just simple prompting. From there, we need performance velocity, which is all about proving our impact with cold, hard data. Then comes creative momentum, producing amazing work at speed. And finally, productivity stacks, where we tie it all together by building automated systems, not just using tools. Let's break down each one. And look, this isn't just going to be a bunch of theory. For each of these 4 pillars, we're going to give you one high-velocity hack, a super practical technique you can start using the minute this explainer is over. All right, for our first pillar, AI mastery, the hack is something called structured prompt engineering. This is the skill that takes you from being a casual AI user, getting mixed results, to a pro who gets predictable, high-quality output every single time. So how do you get that structure? The report lays out this really powerful framework called CREATE. It's an acronym that stands for character, request, examples, additions, type, and extras. Basically, it's a checklist that turns your AI prompts from a random shot in the dark into a reliable process for getting professional-grade work. And this is where it gets really practical. Just focus on the C and the E for a second. Simply telling the AI its character, like act as a senior data analyst, radically improves the quality. And then providing examples of what you want, that's a pro-level technique called few-shot prompting. And trust me, it is an absolute game changer for consistency. Moving on to pillar 2, performance velocity. Look, getting cool stuff from AI is one thing, but proving its value to the business, that's another story. This hack is all about mastering the metrics, because in today's world, you have to speak the language of business, and that language is all about financial efficiency. And that really starts with knowing the difference between 2 super important and often confused metrics, ROI and ROAS. ROI, or return on investment, that's the big picture. It tells you if the business is profitable overall. But ROAS, return on ad spend, is way more specific. It just measures how one single ad campaign did. They tell you very, very different things. And here's why that difference is so critical. Get this. You could have a fantastic 4-to-1 ROAS on a marketing campaign, and you're thinking, wow, we're crushing it. But if your overhead, your salaries, and all your other costs are too high, your overall ROI for the business could actually be negative. You could be losing money while thinking you're winning. Knowing this difference is what separates a tactical player from a true strategist. Okay, pillar 3 is creative momentum. For all my fellow creators watching, this one is for you. We're talking about the After Effects to Premiere Pro Power Workflow. It's a killer technique to seriously level up your video quality and, maybe more importantly, your speed. So the core of this whole workflow is a feature called linked compositions. What it lets you do is build these really cool, sophisticated motion graphics in After Effects and then just drop them right into your Premiere Pro timeline. And the best part? The project stays synced. You make a change in After Effects and boom, it updates instantly in Premiere. It's a huge time saver. But here's the pro move. Those live linked compositions, they can really slow down your Premiere timeline, making it laggy and frustrating. The solution is a feature called render and replace. Once you're happy with your animation, you just use this function. It bakes the graphic into a smooth video file, so your timeline just flies. But you can always revert back to the live version if you need to make changes. It is truly the best of both worlds. You get all the power without sacrificing speed. And that brings us to our final pillar, productivity stacks. The big hack here is a shift in mindset. It's about moving away from just using individual tools and instead becoming an architect of integrated systems that eliminate all that manual, boring work. The key to this is no-code automation. You've probably heard of tools like Zapier or Make. Think of them as digital glue. They connect all your different apps, LinkedIn, Salesforce, HubSpot, you name it, into one seamless machine. This lets anyone, even without a single line of code, design these powerful workflows that can save hundreds of hours. Let me give you a classic example. Picture this. A new lead comes in from a LinkedIn ad. Instantly, Zapier grabs that info and creates a new contact in Salesforce. The second that happens, Salesforce automatically triggers a personalized welcome email. The whole thing happens in a flash. Zero manual data entry, no delays. That right there is the power of building a system. And this really brings us to the most important point of all. We've talked about AI, we've talked about metrics, creative workflows, and automation. On their own, they're just skills, but when you start to combine them, they become something way more powerful. They become your integrated edge. So after all that, after talking AI, metrics, video, and automation, what is the single most valuable skill you can possibly develop for 2025? It's right there. The ultimate skill isn't just knowing how to operate a tool, it's being the architect of the entire system. It's having the vision to connect all these different skills into one smart, automated workflow that creates massive value. That is the integrated edge, and that is what's going to define the most valuable people of tomorrow. So go on, start building your system today.